Good evening. How is your day? How is work? How is family? How is siblings? How is your loved one? Tonight, I actually made a post today that bring attentions and questions from some of my friends. So I just said let me make a video to clear the air because it's very important. The post I make actually today that actually bring down the questions is this. The first mistake some people made, or the first mistake some people make about marriage is procreation. When I say mistake that people made, the first mistake that some people make about marriage is procreation. And some questions are becoming, what is the mistake about procreation? The truth is, when you go through a content on a blue app, you need to understand the content of, you need to understand the post and the content. I am not really saying that you should not get married to have children. That is where I think the misunderstanding or the conflict is coming about with the content. What I'm simply saying that some people get married with this mindset, I want to have my own children. And that is what we call the 40 states. You hear some people saying that I want to get married to have my own children. The first purpose of getting married is not just children. You need to look about a situation whereby you need to have something like compassion. As couples coming together, the first important primary purpose of coming together to get married or to be married as husband and wife is not just procreation. It is more than procreation. You need to understand the circumstance of your compassion. That is the first primary purpose of coming together, compassion. You need to pass through this state of compassion. And when you get married with this mindset of procreation, it's actually a mistake. The reason I say mistake is because the first 2 years of your marriage as new wedded couples, the first 2 years of your marriage, it is a time that you need to study one another. It is a time you need to study your partner. It is a time that as a husband, you need to know your wife more. It is a time that as a wife, you need to know your husband more. The essence of getting married is not just to multiply. And when you look about multiplication, it's not just all about giving birth to children. Multiplication can be in terms of finance. Multiplication can be in terms of your career. Multiplication can be coming together and get the buzz of your being togetherness. So it is not just only the angle of being in terms of giving birth to more children. That's why I'm saying that first mistake some people make about marriage is procreation. You need to understand that you coming together as a couple, the first 2 years of your marriage, it is a time that you need to plan. And the reason that I said it because the expectation that people bring into marriage is more or less too much, and couples become overwhelmed when they get married and they become husband and wife. You will see some people that within the space of that 2 years, when there is no issue, when there is not childbirth, you see some people running helter and skelter. You see some people even going desperately, go to the level that they will start to hear some complaint. You have done so much abortion. You have you lied to me. So the reasons I'm saying this is because you coming together, you know that child will come. But the first 2 years of your marriage, it is a time you actually need to plan with your couples. Before these children should come, what do we need to have? That is what we call about compassion, kindness, and all of these things need to be played before you think about procreation. I'm not saying that you get married, you're not going to have children, but what I'm trying to say, don't be desperate. Don't have this mindset that if I get married, it's all about children. When children come, what are your plans? What are the necessary plans that you have made for those children? You need to understand that there are some certain times that those children will grow and they will also want to have their own family. The truth is, after they leave the home, who and who will stay in that home? It is still the husband and wife. Marriage is not the product and the result of children. Marriage is the product and the result of husband and wife. That you marry has not given you that guaranteed that after the first year or second year of your marriage, you need to start to replicate. No. The truth is, if it happened and you start to have your own children, good and fine. But if it did not happen, that is not guaranteed that your wife will not give birth to children. So it is the time that you need to study more. You need to know that the first time of your courtship is not even enough. The period of that your courtship after dating, and you set aside maybe like 6 months to courtship for courtship, that period is not even enough for you to know each other, to know what your husband dislike, what the wife like, or what the husband like, what he did like, what the wife like, and what she dislike. So these are the first 2 years that you need to study each other, get to know each other more. Get to plan how many children do we need to have. Then if you have these numbers of children, what do we need to have to sustain them? So you need to pass through this stage in your marriage. And it's very important that you need to set aside these first 2 years of your marriage to set this plan, and you get to know each other more. This program I'm doing today is just the part 1 of this session, because I want to throw more light to this content. So I'm going to have another brief session, like 3 sessions or 4 sessions of this particular content, because we need to make people understand that the first aim of relationship or even getting married to each other is not just to multiply, it's not just procreation. When Bible said that when two are coming together or when they come they will multiply, it does not mean that it's all about giving birth to children. That's what you need to understand. If a husband have a particular profession, he could actually go ahead to multiply because the wife is coming to support him to build. Two can chase it. If one can chase 1,000, two can chase 10,000. That is what it means. So you need to understand that your partner coming to join you in your career, in your field, in your vision, it is for you to multiply and get the best of that vision. So beyond giving birth to children, there should be a vision and purpose of you coming together to fulfill, not just giving birth to children. That's what I'm trying to say. So when you look into content, you need to you need to read the context, study the context, and think through about the content. Because some people say that, I'm getting old, I want to get married, I have my own children. If you have your children, if you get married and start having your children, what plan have you made down for them? That is the essence of the topic. That is the essence of the topic or the content I post today. When you start giving birth to your children, what plans have you made for them? There's a question you need to ask yourself. When you ask yourself this question, are you actually be able to understand and you think through about this question, you're able to tell that if you're actually doing it right or you are doing it wrongly, you understand. And the truth is, you need to, that is why I talk about having an open conversation. You need to learn each other behaviors. Your wife is from another background and you're from another background. So this first, that is, it will actually go along because I would like to discuss this more like 5 parts. So today is the part 1 session of this topic particularly. So tomorrow I will still come online to discuss this via my Facebook page. So stay tuned as you go through this content, particularly today that I made, that made some people maybe get this confusion, that they don't understand the content. Because as a human being that you are planning to get married, it's not bad you have your children, but before you have these children, what plans are you making down for them? You need to think about it. What plans are you making down for them? And as a couple, have you understand yourself enough before you start uh, bringing up children or you procreate? Have you understand yourself enough? And both of you understand each other enough? Because when two children start to come, it is another more tax on your relationship. Stay tuned as we bring this period of this session, like 5 sessions in this part of this content to you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Do have a wonderful and pleasant night rest. I love you all. Thank you.